Today we're going to talk about looking at the big picture. And what I mean by the big picture, looking at the big picture, is taking a look at all the details of whatever situation that you might be facing. So let me give you an idea what I'm talking about. Last night, I got back up to camp after a long week. It's Friday night. Beautiful night out. It's spring weather finally here in upstate New Hampshire, and it's just a great night. I know I had a few cocktails, unwinding, grabbed a late dinner, and sitting inside with the door open, relaxing with Odin. My neighbor, who's been my neighbor for a little while now, nice guy, been quiet. We don't have a lot in common, but he keeps to himself. You know, he has a few extra activities that are not my lifestyle, but they work for him, and he's a free spirit for sure, if you know what I mean. And but he keeps to himself, and from time to time, when he's, he likes to hang out in his truck. He calls himself a gypsy. I would agree. Likes to hang out in his truck and listen to some music and just unwind, I guess. Well, the music got a little loud last night, but it wasn't really bothering me. I was sitting back, relaxing. I did have the door open to the camp, and but I had TV on, unwinding, and it's Friday night, and I think it was about 11 o'clock. I shut the door, and I was going to start unwinding, and I noticed when I did shut the door, the music got a little bit louder, but again, no big deal. And I think I finally got ready for bed. It was, half hour later, and crawled into bed. Now, for me, I'm a light sleeper. I need to have a noisemaker. I always have. I like white noise. It helps me get better sleep. And, I've always had a dog for the most part. And Odin, my pup here, who's laying down now, he'll alert me if anything's going on. He's fantastic. Anyway, so, went to bed, slept good last night. This morning, woke up, and one of the other neighbors approached me. He's like, "What the heck was up with that music?" And, I'm going to say something. Even with the doors closed, he's further away than me. I can hear that. And he wasn't in that much of a rile, but he was definitely, I think he was looking to see what I was going to say. I'm like, yeah, and I just kind of let it go. Well, I noticed later on that his wife had sent me a text, probably about the same time her husband had pulled in to see me, asking me my thoughts on it. And, I wrote back. I said, look, I honestly thought, it's Friday night. He was letting loose. I explained that at the end of the day, I slept fine last night. Yeah, it was a little loud. Yeah. But, and this is where I'm going with this whole thing. If this guy had a track record of playing the music all the time, Monday through Friday, and really taking no consideration for me or anybody else, I'll be the first to call somebody out on it. And, I'll stand up for what I believe are, should be respectful thoughts that everybody should have for each other, we should all respect each other, especially when we live in a community. And I'll stand up for that. I'll be the first one to stand up for it. But I think a lot of times in life, and I've been guilty of this, so when I preach this stuff, I talk about this stuff, believe me when I tell you, this is all from experience, and it's all things that I've done wrong, and probably will always have to continue to work at. We all make mistakes, and I think generally I learn from my mistakes, but every once in a while you got to go back and revisit these things. But you got to take a look at the big picture. In this case, I didn't really got worked up about it. If he did it tonight, it's going to be Saturday night. again, I'd let it go. Sunday night, Monday night, there's an issue. There's an issue, possibly. Folks, remember to take a look at the big picture. Don't be too quick to jump on somebody. And just as importantly, don't go running to everybody else and just start. And I'm not saying these folks they were not bad mouthing him behind anybody's back. We have a legitimate relationship, me and the folks that brought it up to my attention. But some people just start running their mouth about other people. Go talk to the person if you got a problem. Over the years, when I made the right decision to approach somebody and talk to them about it, they didn't even really take into consideration what they were doing. And once you brought it up to them, like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. That was not considerate of me. I didn't even think of it that way. And generally, it would be nice if that worked out that way all the time. It doesn't always, but at least give the people a chance, the parties a chance. If you've got a problem with a party or a person or parties, give them a chance and bring it up to them in a respectful manner. Be careful not to let your ego get in the way. What I mean by that is if you bring it up to them and they don't react the way that you think they should react, be ready to let it go until it happens again. Just don't get into a confrontation that you're going to regret, I guess is what I'm trying to say. These things can, elevate to something that shouldn't be. Make sure you handle it the right way. But, take a look at the big picture. Make sure that you're considering other people's thoughts and their ability or their right to unwind too and do things. When it really impeaches, when it really encroaches on you and it affects you in a way that it's not healthy or legit, talk to them, call them out, especially if it's a long track record. But just be careful about all that and be considerate. You don't want to be the jerk that is going around bad mouthing people and not giving people a chance and not talking to them directly. There's just so much of that going on. Hey, did you know this person did this and that? And what were they thinking? And next thing the next neighbor's doing that, and the next neighbor. It's just crazy. Again, sometimes people just need to be talked to. They don't even realize what they're doing. Hey, as always, I appreciate you stopping by, listening to my truck talk. It's a beautiful day. I'm headed down to my brother's to see family. I hope you all get a chance to hang out with your family this weekend. We'll catch up with you soon. Take care.